Hello, welcome back to another vlog. I am here at Leamington Spa train station, going back to Oxford, and another first class train review this time, thanks to another cheap deal I've managed to find. This time we are going with CrossCountry, and I'll be trying out CrossCountry Voyager, class 220-221, first class. Although due to split ticketing, unfortunately, this will only be until Banbury, with the rest of the journey from Banbury to Oxford being done in standard class. But yeah, another cheap deal in first class, £6 for £6 from Leamington Spa to Banbury. So a very cheap price for first class ticket. So I do look forward to trying out CrossCountry's Voyagers first class. So without further ado, let's do this. Leamington Spa is on the Chiltern Main Line and also on the line linking Reading with Nuneaton via Oxford and Coventry. This railway station is my favourite on both the Chiltern Main Line and the Reading Nuneaton line, the latter also known as the Cherwell Valley Line. Its historic beauty certainly contributes to elegance. I also love the piano located on platform 3, the platform for southbound train services to destinations such as London, Oxford, Reading and Bournemouth. Coincidentally, platform 3 is also where my cross-country service back to Oxford will depart from. The waiting room is another of my favourite things about this train station. It really doesn't feel like you're waiting for a train. Instead, its cosy, warm and elegant environment reminds me more of being in the living room of a typical British house. Perfect for a cold day in March, isn't it? It's now time to exit the cosy, elegant waiting room and head outside as my train to Oxford is approaching. It's a 5-carriage Super Voyager, class 221. Not the biggest fan of these trains. A boring and uninspiring diesel train, made worse by the fact it serves an important connection from Manchester all the way down south to Bournemouth, serving important places such as Birmingham, Oxford and Southampton, meaning that these trains can get really overcrowded. Cross country, please buy Hitachi 800s or 802s as soon as possible. As with pretty much every first class accommodation on a British train, this seating is in a 2+1 configuration. Nothing wrong about it, so I won't be complaining about this. Let's now review CrossCountry's Voyager's first class accommodation in more detail. The tables are much larger and both the armrests and seats are much bigger than those in standard class. There's also plug sockets to charge your phone, both in first and standard class on board this train. However, with that said, I have found the comfort for a first class accommodation on these CrossCountry's Voyagers to be disappointing. So effectively, the seats are as comfortable as they are in standard class, just with more space and bigger tables. We're now departing Leamington Spa. Our next stop is Banbury. It's now time to review the food and drinks available on board this train. As this was about 9:30 in the evening, coming towards 10 at night, it's understandable that there was a very limited selection of food and drinks available. So I was just given a small bottle of water and a couple of biscuits. Not bad, I guess, considering it was late in the evening, and especially considering that this was the penultimate train of the day to take me back to Oxford, with the last train of the day being about an hour later, at about 10:30 in the evening. Here you can see the ticket I bought for the first class part of the journey. As we have now arrived at Banbury, it is unfortunately time for the first class part of the journey to end and the standard class part to begin. As I said, because of the cheap first class advanced single only being available from Leamington Spa until Banbury, the ticket from Banbury to Oxford had to be an off-peak flexible standard class single. Ah well, at least I get to review both first and standard class of this CrossCountry Voyager. Good comparison, I guess. Narrower seats and smaller tables in standard class, but otherwise same comfort as first class. So fairly comfortable, which is perfectly acceptable for standard class, but for first class, come on, this could be better. And now we depart Banbury. One positive thing about this particular train journey from Leamington Spa back to Oxford is that I get to review both first and standard class, so that is a good thing. So yeah, a trip report vlog that includes both first and standard class review of this CrossCountry Voyager from Leamington Spa to Oxford. Back in Oxford now, and on my local bus back to my Oxford home. For you bus enthusiasts, this is an Oxford bus company right by the street deck, 15 reg on the City 5 to Blackbird Leeds. Anyways, now back to the topic of this video. All I can say is I'm glad I finally tried first class and CrossCountry Voyagers, but honestly, I would say the extra money is not worth it. Apart from the bigger seats and bigger tables, the comfort is basically just the same as in standard class really. So overall, if you want to try, if you want to if you want bigger seats and bigger tables, then yeah, go for it. But if you're expecting more comfortable seats, then I'd say don't bother. Just as the seat comfort is exactly the same as in standard class. So yeah, this concludes the end of my vlog. CrossCountry report from Oxford to Leamington Spa to Oxford. Half of which done first class and the other half done in standard class. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.